Buenos noches, Frontline Football. Welcome to Frontline Football News, your number one place for sports news. Now, it's time to get into our stories today with Jack.
All right, we got some pretty good stories today, pretty good finds. Danelle Hunter's off to the IR after an early start. Jalen Ramsey just got extended to a four or 5 year, $100 million. It's a lot of money. It's the highest corner deal in history. OBJ is back on the trade block for the who knows how many times. He's there quite often now. And Michael Thomas suffered an ankle injury at the Tampa game. What does this mean for the New Orleans Saints? We are starting off with Danelle Hunter. Take it away, Zach.
Josh, take it away.
Okay, so Danelle Hunter is on IR right now because he was placed on IR because of an injury they suffered in the game. And he will at least miss 3 games via Sports Illustrated. So, this is a huge loss for the Vikings, and I just want to hear the thoughts of Zach. What are your thoughts on this subject?
I think it's a really bad loss for them because Danelle Hunter really helps them in that defense and locks down. Sacks the QB a lot. Sorry about that. But I think it's a big loss for them, and I hope he can get better soon. Jack?
This is devastating level loss for the Vikings defense because Danelle Hunter, double-digit sacker, pretty much I'd say the best defensive player on the Vikings. That's debatable, though. They have a lot of good defensive players, but overall, I was concerned after seeing what happened between the Packers and the Vikings because, the Packers are the number one competition, so I'd assume you'd want your best defensive player to be able to go there and sack Aaron Rodgers and stop his reign of terror because he looks like he's about to take off this year and return to his old form. So this is a devastating blow for the Vikings. They need to hope he comes back sooner than later because they could be in deep trouble because they got a tough schedule. They got to play the Colts, who, though they lost to the Jaguars, I still don't think they're any pushovers.
So, yeah, going off of your point there, Jack, Danelle Hunter is one of their biggest loss. That's their second best defender on that team besides Yannick. Yannick is still the best. And you're really going to need him in games when you're facing teams like Aaron Roughball Rodgers, who is a very, very talented quarterback, but also you need him just in case the refs decide to be a bit nice with the calls on Rodgers. So, not any shade at Rodgers. He's a great quarterback. JJ should have won the MVP but that's water under a bridge. So, but this is a very big loss for the Vikings. You can't just keep losing your defenders at the beginning of the season. That's probably the worst point to lose them, besides right near the playoffs. So, yeah. So let's go on to our next story.
All right, so the next story is Jalen Ramsey getting extended for $100 million, $130 million, or somewhere in that range. And let's take it away to Jack.
Jalen Ramsey gets extended to the Rams. This is a good move because, first of all, 2 first-round picks. That's a lot of capital. So if you let this guy walk out of free agency, the Rams just had 2 first-round picks, and they threw him in the toilet. It meant nothing if he left. But I think this is a great signing for the Rams because, though they're in cap purgatory, don't get me wrong, I think they're starting to get their groove. Now they've lost Todd Gurley, so they got rid of him, and they switched over to this running back committee between Cam Akers, the rookie, and Darrell Henderson from last year. So they're starting that up. They got an impressive win against the Cowboys. Jalen Ramsey was a great actor on Sunday Night Football when it came to Michael Gallup, and he did a great job clutching up the game for a game that the Rams probably shouldn't have won. But Jalen Ramsey, overall, people forget he's a top 3 corner still. I still think he's going to be great. And I think it's a good signing for the Rams because they need to make sure they lock up a secondary because outside of him, I don't really know much about that secondary. There's not like another star player that pops out at people. But that's all I got to say about Ramsey. What do you think, Josh?
Well, I think that it's a great move by the Rams because did you not see what he did to Amari Cooper last game? He freaking sticked him. Oh, yeah. And that performance against Michael Gallup, like automatic Emmy for that. Like that flopping is top tier. Even soccer players would be happy about that, or football as they like to call it in England or wherever besides America. But back to the point, he's probably the best corner on the team, if I'm not mistaken. And he really helped them win their first game at SoFi. Even though I might be a bit salty because it did ruin my prediction record, he still was a great corner that game. He made a bunch of big plays, so this was a great way to lock him up with that big deal. Zach?
I think it's good. Jalen Ramsey's a great corner by like watching him in Duval. But yeah, he did do some really good acting. And he really killed Amari Cooper. That was really bad. I think that's a great idea. He's a great corner, and he proved himself last game. I think it's good. All right, so any closing thoughts?
I think we're ready to move on.
All right, so OBJ is on the trade block. Take it away, Josh.
Okay, so Odell Beckham Jr. is on the trade block because from a source that I have, he has said that, from Bleacher Report, he has said that if there's not a deal, he is not stepping on the field with the Browns. So the Browns have put him on the trade block to counter that. Bleacher Report says that the top 3 landing spots for OBJ to go at number 1 is the New York Giants. Yes, his old team. Number 2 is the Los Angeles Rams. And finally, at number 3, the Los Angeles Chargers. So I want to hear Zach's thoughts on this matter first.
I don't think that he's going to the Giants or the Rams. Rams are in cap purgatory, and the Giants are his old team, so that's kind of just getting traded back, and probably for less. Judging by like what he played like in the what was it? The Ravens game, he did not do that well. He was not that hot in that game. So I think he's either gonna get a deal or he's gonna just go to the Chargers. All right, Jack, got any idea?
I think this is the end of the Odell and the Cleveland Browns era. Honestly, him and Baker, just something's not working there. It's not clicking. It's never impressive. I never see any explosive plays from him anymore. And he hasn't been impressive. He was in the 60s ranked as a wide receiver over his time in Cleveland. And it's just, the reality, Odell's not Baker's guy. It's Jarvis, and they like Nick Chubb. They signed Kareem Hunt to a 2-year extension. They're going to want to be a run-and-gun team. They're not looking for someone like Odell anymore. So I think it's best to move on now. Second of all, Bleacher Report, those are some terrible top 3s. I don't think he's returning to the Giants. The Rams can't afford him, and they have Cooper Kupp. And the Chargers recently paid star wideout Keenan Allen, so none of those spots really make sense in my opinion. But I'd say I'm looking for a team. I don't think you're going to get much value from him because he didn't look good, but I don't think it's the end of Odell by any means. I just don't think it's going to work in Cleveland anymore, personally.
I think that he's going to go to a team that needs a receiver, even though that Odell, sorry Odell, if you're watching this, you're a drama queen. He starts up drama, and yeah, if you need a receiver, then get him, but he's a drama queen. All right, Josh.
So I feel like a better top 2 for this thing is, 1, the Miami Dolphins. Then they can have that veteran leadership in the locker room if he is getting traded. We still don't know what's going to happen, but I feel like a good trading partner would be the Miami Dolphins because, 1, they have all those first-round capital, and 2, he'd be great for the team because he'd bring that veteran leadership into that locker room. And then my second team would be the Washington football team. They seem like a good landing spot for him, but I don't feel like the Browns are going to be gain anything special. Maybe they could swindle a first or a second-round pick for him, but it won't be anything great if they are going to trade him because he hasn't shown that he is the guy. And in New York, he made that 3-finger catch. Good. He hasn't done anything since. His numbers have been dropping every single year. He needs a career restart. He needs a team that can hone in on his potential and bring him back to his LSU days. So that's all I have for that topic.
All right, any thoughts?
I think we're ready to move on to the fourth and final topic of the day, and that is Michael Thomas has an ankle injury suffered at Tampa Bay. I am going to let you open this one up, Zach. What do you think?
That's a big loss for the Saints. I mean, Slantmaster himself really. Oh, that really must sting Drew Brees because now he only has Emmanuel Sanders to work with, if he doesn't come back soon. I hope that Michael Thomas will come back soon because he is a fun player to watch, even though he only runs slants. But he's fun to watch. All right, Josh, you got any thing to say?
Okay, so I feel like Michael Thomas, I'm hoping that he recovers very soon so that he can be that kind of slant threat whenever Breeze needs a bailout. But I don't feel like the Saints are going to move back in any way. They still have Kamara, and they still have Emmanuel Sanders, and they still have that monster defense. So I don't feel like anything is changing there. I just hope that Michael Thomas can get out there and show everybody why he is the slant master. Jack?
Michael Thomas, this is a loss for the Saints, but he was pretty much ineffective at Tampa Bay. He had like 3 catches, barely any yards. Him and Mike Evans were both pretty ineffective that day. They combined for like 9 yards pretty much. They both were ineffective, and we saw which team thrived and which one fell apart. I'm not worried about the Saints because of a man named Mr. Alvin Kamara, who catches the ball, runs the ball, and is overall had a monster game against the Bucs. And the Saints are a well-oiled machine. Sean Payton's an offensive genius. He knows how to scope up these plays. I think he's going to be able to maximize Emmanuel Sanders. Jarrett Cook was a Pro Bowler recently. They still have that good line. I'm not too worried about the Saints. And I think Michael Thomas, I think he's going to miss time, but I think minimal time. So I'm not worried. Michael Thomas will come back. And the Saints, I don't think they're going to lose any for him, to be honest. Any closing thoughts on the day? Because that is all we have for news.
I hope Danelle Hunter and Michael Thomas can come back soon. They're really fun to watch. I hope that they come back soon. Josh, you got anything?
Same here. And I'm ready to see another week of football because football is finally back.
Jack?
I don't really have any necessarily closing thoughts. I think the biggest news story was probably the Odell because the team could get traded. Props to the Jacksonville Jaguars for going from the tanking for Trevor team to beating the Indianapolis Colts. I'm going to tip my hat off to you there. And that's all we have for today. So, hope you guys enjoyed today's episode of Frontline Football. If you enjoyed, don't forget to subscribe. Follow us on our Twitter, FrontlineFB. Remember, also Instagram, FrontlineFB, for the latest news. And if you want to vote on our prediction polls, which are coming out Wednesday. And, yeah, that's about it for us. I hope you guys enjoyed, and we will be back here next time.
One more thing. Don't forget to punch that notification bell and comment down below if you are a part of the notification squad. So we'll see you next time, and enjoy more football for week 2 action.